Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network Hot Take. If you haven't seen this show before, a hot take is where we get in the basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or a game. Today, we're going to be talking about a TV show, and that TV show is Stranger Things Season 3. My name is Anthony Rigucci, and here to discuss, as always, Chris Trio.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Doubling up. We just did a podcast before this. What is Death Stranding? You can check it out live on YouTube.com.
It's definitely up by the time this is up on
and podcast services. Yes. Mm-hmm. But we're here to talk about Stranger Things right now. Trio, what did you think of Season 3? Compare it to Season 1 and 2. Let's start, no spoilers.
I don't think I liked it more than the first season, but that's just because that's tough to beat. But I
disagree.
Definitely liked it more than the second one. 100%.
This is the best season of Stranger Things.
You think it's the best one?
Oh, yeah.
It's fun.
Way better than Season 2, and I think it definitely beats Season 1. I think on just all levels. Season 1 and 2 are very similar. Mm-hmm. They're both, like, Will is still, like, the focal point of the
of what's going on.
And what's going on, you know, the supernatural level of things.
Sure.
And this season really departs from that, really kind of like
focuses more on Elle, I'd say.
Sends those plots to other characters, some characters who haven't really gotten a lot of time yet, some newer characters from Season 2. But I think it just does everything bigger and better without like really retreading
for sure.
ground.
And I think that's also a product of we know these characters so well by now. And also, I think Hopper shines the most in this season that he has in any other one. Even, I guess, honestly, everyone. I really, overall, just loved the cast this season, and maybe I'm looking through rose-colored glasses and saying that the first season was better, because that just is where it all started. But I really did have an overall just great time, and I will say, I could care less before this season came out. Like, I heard Season 3 of Stranger Things, I was like, okay, cool, I'll watch it when it comes out. Then I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh, this looks actually really cool.
I watched Stranger Things Season 1 probably, like, I don't even know when it came out, but, like, after it came out.
No, because I remember everyone was talking about it, like, yo, did you hear about Stranger Things on Netflix? Like, what's Stranger Things? I really love just the whole aesthetic of the show, even the way it leads into each episode, like, chapter, whatever, it has an extra thing, it has a name for each episode. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
I really like
it's
one thing this season does. It has a lot of like grand action set pieces in locations. There's a lot of locations that are very focal to what's going on in the story. There's a few. And like same with like the groups. We have like 3 separate groups, newer groups, different groups. One of them is
there's Steve and Dustin, but even
I mean Steve and Dustin together is not like, you know, still sort of new, and with Robin a newcomer character, we have that group. Yeah. And then we have pretty much the kids, Elle, what's her name? Max.
Maxine.
That group, so the kid group, and then the adult group, essentially.
Sure.
But, like, Dustin and Steve, like, Dustin not being with the rest of the crew, literally, like, most of the show is pretty interesting.
No, it
like,
is.
How
it
they
works.
Split the characters up.
It definitely works.
And then they come together at certain points. And
it all coalesces in the end in a very good and fun way. And, yeah, I mean, overall, I don't want to talk spoilers, so I don't want to keep going. I think it's a fun season. I think you actually might be right in saying it's the best one, and just the way it keeps it going.
It also doubles down on the 80s stuff that I like.
For sure, and I think it takes a little bit to get going. I thought the first 2 episodes were a little bit...
Oh, I don't. I think the first... Well, I mean, yeah, the first 2 episodes are kind of slow, and then it really picks up into what the plot is.
And that's the product of you're making a TV show, you need the lead in. I get that.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I wasn't, like, amazingly hot on, like,
you mean
the stuff.
You don't like the scene where Steve's trying to fuck Mrs. Wheeler?
Okay. Yeah.
We're going into spoilers. We like this season. We recommend you watch it. Obviously, you got to watch the first 2 seasons, but it's a great show. And
yeah.
This is the best season, in my opinion. Trio.
Fair enough.
Trio. I may be winning Trio over.
You might be.
Probably by the end of this. Yeah, man. The first episode is all about making out fucking moms, man.
Yeah.
That's what this is about.
It was fun. I was like, this is awesome.
And fucking the mall.
I just was
and
more...
ice cream.
I found myself more interested when we cut to the Russians and like what was going on there, and I really liked the whole storyline with Hopper and what's-her-face trying to figure out what's going on. I thought all the characters were just really well played this whole time. Like
everyone's very much like progressed.
I mostly wasn't bored throughout the whole thing at all. Like I said, I felt like it took a little bit to get going, but once it got going, it kept the foot on the gas. And didn't really let up.
I was there from like minute 1 to the last minute. I loved every part of it. You know what I especially loved? Steve's hair. Welcome to a podcast within a podcast. Steve Harrington's hair wash. Hashtag hair watch. Let's fucking talk about Steve Harrington's hair.
Sure.
Because that is like one of the best points of the show.
It looks good. It looks fantastic.
Good. The entire series or the entire show.
They know what they're doing.
It gets
Is
better.
that all natural or is that a wig?
Yeah, that is not a wig. It looks, Steve's hair.
No, it looks
Steve's
good.
hair, season 1.
Because I was going to say it's a great wig, if it is.
Steve's hair, season 2. Oh, it's getting better. Steve's hair, season 3. You better believe
it's peak Steve
in that
hair.
sailor outfit. Can't get enough.
But let's go with the opposite end here and go to Billy with his perm and his fucking just wispy mustache. Of like, dude, you can't grow a mustache. Stop trying to grow the mustache. Shave off the mustache. And I just find it hilarious that all these girls, I get it. He's got a hard body. He looks good. Whatever. Bullshit. He's pulling in chicks with that hair and that fucking facial hair.
Dude, in the 80s,
like, is that really what girls were looking for back then?
Dude, like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Nancy Wheeler, Mrs. Wheeler's over
I love
there.
how the first episode is like very like they're like playing into this cheating thing. Like, very hard.
No, like, she's like, oh, she's gonna do it.
They're not, calming against it. I was like, what is going on?
Mrs. Wheeler finally makes the realization she sees her with the dad with the kids.
And Ellen and Mike are just fucking macking it. And
all the time.
Max and Lucas are just macking it. And Will just wants to play D&D. And, dude, hell, I can't fucking blame him. It's summertime. I want to play some D&D.
Like, dude, guys, let's just chill and hang out, man. Yeah, no, there are some good stuff, and it is funny. You remember being that every group of kids had that one friend, or even those couple friends that, they don't want to grow up. You want to just kind of hang out, play your D&D, play your video games, all that stuff. And you feel for Will, especially considering he's been in the underground for however long, and then once he finally gets back, he's a double agent for the goddamn monster itself. So it's interesting. I liked it's funny, you thought at first, right, that they were going to recycle his plot line.
I thought they were going to really recycle, like, Will being, like, the mind
control,
puppet,
yeah.
like when he got the feeling on the back of his neck. I thought they were going to do that again, but they didn't.
No, they went another. It was more of a spider sense of the underground.
Really, in this whole series, is, like, the character who really does nothing.
Yeah,
Will does not do much.
He's like, you know what he's like?
Very much there.
He's like Doug.
Except at the end, and maybe a few other points.
He's like Doug from The Hangover. He's there for a scene or two, but he doesn't really do much. He's just kind of, he'll give him the call, guys, where you at? Yeah, that's true. He doesn't do a ton. In this one, he's just the kind of clairvoyant, like, oh, the mind flayer's here.
And then he's also representing, like, oh, like, he kind of, like, doesn't, not that he, it's not that the kids, like, don't want to play D&D. It's just, like, they're so concerned
they're focused
about,
on, like, the girls and...
Which is, like, really weird, because I'm like, it's not that, like, Will doesn't want to grow up. I'm like,
he's like, guys, let's just have a Saturday for the boys, for fuck's sake. What are we
doing? It's like, it's not even that, like, he just doesn't have a girlfriend. It's not that he's, like, being weird about it. He just wants to fucking, like, he doesn't have a girlfriend, so why would he be
And it was funny,
did
you see, like, the scene where he's like, oh, Will, because you don't like girls or whatever. People are like, oh, is Will gay?
He's not gay.
I was like, no, he's like just a 10-year-old girl. Yeah, he's a 10-year-old kid. He just wants to hang with his boys.
I was like, and so they interviewed him about that, and they were saying, like, oh, like, essentially is like interpret it how you want. I was like, yeah, you can turn the fan
sure,
on
but like
turn the fan
I'm
on.
throwing.
You're sitting here like fucking
dying,
airing out like a crazy person.
Continue though.
Yeah, like no, I was like, they're 13 years old. Like what the fuck do you think? He just wants to play D&D. I was like,
that's so funny.
I'm not looking that hard into it, man. I was like, okay, like I could understand like why you say that, but I don't think he's gay. Like let's.
No, I didn't think that either.
Let's just. No,
but it's funny. We always have to put the 2019 spin on. He's like, no, he's a fucking 13-year-old kid.
Yeah. I don't actually know.
Or not even, like 10-year-old. Who even knows?
So like they have to be like at least 11, 12, 13.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And they're way older in real life. They're all like 17 and 16.
Oh, are they really that old? I thought they were like 15, 16.
No, they're so. Did you see what I posted in D&D?
No, I saw you like, what the hell?
So, dude, like I saw this like ad for Stranger Things. And I guess it was like a little bit before the season started because they're like, oh, like we're the Stranger Things, cast of Stranger Things
for the kids, for the Stranger Things.
We're gonna recap the season.
Let's go.
And Lucas is sitting there with a fucking goatee. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, Lucas, relax, pal.
I'm like, this is the season where all the kids' balls really do drop.
No, it's funny. Like you notice the voices and everything.
One concern I have, like, we're not talking about season 4 just yet, but I mean, I guess there's gonna be a season 4. I'm kind of scared, like, going forward, like, they're gonna age way faster. Like, season 1 to 3 is very noticeable. 1 to 2
how I think they can avoid that? Time jump.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They have to do like an it
thing
where they time jump because they just look so old.
Yeah, they're just...
And they're all looking very much older.
And I think they can... Exactly. I don't even think that will break.
Sense.
Yeah, just make them 15-year-olds. Make them 16-year-olds. I don't care. Like, make them their age. And that will still, I even think, work. And it kind of actually makes it a little bit more interesting in some ways. Yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting point. I really enjoyed fucking Hopper, though. It's that whole scene when he's like, hey! 3 inches, goddammit! Like, the way he's freaking out. I don't know why. It's so visceral. And then when he walks in, he's like, what? He's like, goddamn. And then even, like, the scene with Mike, and he's talking to him, and Mike's just making jokes. I'm like, Mike, shut the fuck up, you idiot.
Yeah.
Just
I was like, dude,
Mike,
are you retarded?
Your aunt or whatever is in the hospital.
So,
yeah. We need to go.
Like, are you stupid, man?
And then when they get in the car, and he's like, what's wrong? And he's like, nothing is wrong with your aunt. Like, it's just so...
What's wrong with Nana?
Yeah, I fucking love David Harbour in this. I really do. I think he's a shining light. And even, what's her name? Winona Ryder. She's killer, too.
The whole cast is just really
it's
good.
Really,
and they all blend well with each other. They obviously know each other by now.
Yeah.
So I think they all work together.
They all play off each other very well. Yeah.
Dustin and Steve.
For sure.
Even Robin in that group, they all work together very well.
She blends in.
And even Lucas's sister works with them, too.
Sure. 100%. And they were already, well, not Robin, but the other... Lucas's sister was already cast like in the first couple seasons, right?
Yeah, she's in the second season.
Yeah.
You don't see her in the first season.
And it's fun. So when he's telling her about the underground, she's like, "But Lucas was there?" Yeah, I don't believe it. Wait, so you don't have any trouble believing the interdimensional aliens, but you just questioning that your brother was there? Yep. Okay. And I love like the whole through line, like, you're a nerd. He's like, no, we're all nerds, you fuckhead. We're all nerds.
Yeah.
It's so good. I really do love Dustin, man. He's so good.
Yeah, he was really good this season.
And Susie's do it, Dusty Cakes. What? Do it.
The never-ending story theme. I was like, where is this going?
Oh my god.
I thought he was going to do that growl he does.
Like I thought it was going to do something.
I thought it was going to be something like that. I was like, but he's done that.
That's funny as hell. Do you think Susie's real? Wait, why'd you hesitate? I don't know, man. You haven't said it. The whole thing is amazing.
I really love how the scene or the season kind of takes place around the mall, but not even necessarily like with Starcourt.
Sure.
Like the Russian installation is a big, huge set piece. The fair is a big, huge set piece.
For sure.
There's a bunch of
Alexi. We forgot about Alexi.
We'll
get there. Yeah.
Like, there's just a ton of locations that, even like a game, like, it centers around them. Like, the entire season.
For sure.
Like, they're not just going from one place to another. Like, the Dustin, Steve, and Robin are literally at Starcourt, and the Russian is
literally entire time.
Show.
Yeah,
like,
no,
they
it's
never
so funny.
leave.
And even, like, with Hopper and fucking... What's her name? What's her character's name?
Joyce.
Mom. Joyce. When they fucking have to steal the car off the guy, and he walks up and he's like, police business. So he's like, what? Police business. You gotta let me go. We got child murder. What? A fucking child murder? Like, there's so many just great little moments, and the pairings just work so fabulously, or just fantastically. Like, they really do kill it. And what I want to see more of in that next season, which I don't know if we will, is that. Like, and I think they know what they have. But do you want to see another season? I should say, because I actually don't. I would love to see them
I don't want to see a direct sequel season.
Sure.
Somebody in chat just asked, what do you guys think about the ending? We'll get there.
Yeah. Don't worry.
We'll get there.
We'll talk.
We're just not there yet. Yeah. I think we gotta get to the ending when we're talking about that. But like, I don't want to see an immediate sequel season, and there's a reason. One of them being is they're just the way they're aging is just it's weird.
Yeah, no,
like they're gonna get really older really quick.
Oh, I'm 12. No, you're not.
Or like 21.
Yeah. You're
like,
22. It's like Tobey Maguire and fucking Spider-Man. All right, you're a 34-year-old man. Relax here. They are not in high school. When he takes off the mask, that's a kid. No older than my son. You mean that's a man no older than your friend Ted. Like, it's ridiculous. But, like, yeah, no, the age thing, you're right. That's a big key factor. I would like to see the Tom jump if they're going to do another one. But, should we talk about the Russians at all?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. I was gonna go in a different direction, but
we
fine.
find out that Starcourt has been turned into this Russian facility. The Russians are trying to get into the underground. We see them try to do it, like, in Russia, right, at the beginning.
I like how they essentially, like, they've talked about the Russians and the communists in the past and like
Sure.
commies and stuff, like just like because obviously it's the 80s, Cold
80s,
War's
so,
still
yeah,
going
yeah.
on. But like that's a trope.
Sure.
Russians like communist, Soviet Union level or era Russia in like 80s movies now and then was a trope.
Yeah, sure.
And like they did it here, and I think they did it very well.
Yeah.
And the fact that they built like a secret base under the mall, and the
Like,
mall
and they
was
had
a
it, yeah,
front for the base. I was like,
does. It works
this is
so
just
well.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah, it
I was
really
like, this
did.
is so like tropey. It just
And like
works.
It's fun. Do we know how they know about the underground? Like how the Russians knew that, or did they just find out about
Cold War is a war of intelligence.
Sure. So they were
assume.
just trying to explore all options, and then they got to the same spot. Because in the second season, the U.S. government was still trying to open up a door, right?
Yeah.
Was the thing.
Yeah.
But then they realized, oh, this isn't a good idea, and
Yeah.
Al
And
had to
that's-
close it.
Yeah, at the end, that guy comes back.
Yeah, that's him
Yeah.
at the end when he's like he's looking shit,
He's
like
like, "Oh,
scared, like
fuck."
yeah, like
The
and it's
Russians tried to do it again.
And, I mean,
they tried
even-
to do.
like we'll get more to it, but you see, like it's not fully closed. It doesn't look like it's like there's still a crack in the wall almost. Like I assume they're gonna because they paved over it almost or something.
Let's talk about the rest of the season more at the end. Nancy and John working at the
another great team.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nancy Wheeler, crush of my life.
I
What
agree.
a honey.
Yeah, she's amazing. Even just that actor and it, they go really well together.
They go out in real life.
Yeah, I know. I saw. They have a pretty interesting storyline. I like how they link them in with how she figures out about the rats and like she's kind of this investigative journalist type. I really kind of like that.
Yeah,
Direction
like
to take
everyone's storyline, like really, like kind of plays into like the grand like plot of everything, and like, but like all their threads are very different, and they all kind of meet in the same location.
In a very cohesive way too.
Yeah,
It's not like
yeah.
they're all jumbled. At least that's what I thought. And also, what
also-
about that fucking scene? They walk down and she's just chugging down the foot. It's like, ah!
But
It's like-
Mrs. Driscoll.
Yeah, like oh my
Yeah, it was
god,
weird. It was
yeah.
weird.
it's so
I was like, this is
fucking weird.
gross.
Yeah.
Looks like she's eating shit. Like,
She's just
literally
eating straight up
shit.
fertilizer. Wouldn't they die? So, the Mind Flayer, what was he doing? Was he just putting a piece of himself inside all of them to control them? I guess that's what he did.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Billy was like the real hive mind, and like Heather was like kind of secondary, and everyone else seemed to be very well. Actually, nah. I mean, like
they seem to be almost on the same, but
he doesn't
obviously
seem
he
to-
didn't meld into.
He's not using everyone as like his puppet. I think like Billy, Heather, and then Heather's dad, and like the other guy from the newspaper, because you actually like, hear them talk and stuff. He uses them
Yeah.
as like direct conduits. So again, it's like they say in the show, it's like a hive mind thing.
Yeah.
But like, I guess he channels himself into them when he needs to.
And obviously, yeah, he
to
can
talk
see
and
through all
communicate.
the because when
But
Billy
like,
sees him. At the end.
otherwise, I guess you're just going crazy because
Yeah.
like Billy goes crazy for a little bit, but then he.
And they
like,
even say like
the Mind Flayer
they're
takes
not
him
always
like a
on.
flame.
Yeah. Sometimes they're like sleeper agents almost. He'll just take control when he needs them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, dude, that fucking CGI one looked great this season. I will say, even like the CGI for like the portal and like the fucking big machine, it all looked good. But like when they all like melt down and then like melt together, and I was like, oh man, this is not pleasant to
I
watch
was like,
at all.
so are these guys dead?
And then, and then they're just
coming
like,
back?
yeah, no, like everyone's
I was
just
like, I hope.
so many people
I
dead
was like,
in
at
that
one
town.
point, I was like, what? So if Billy dies, he's like dead?
No, he's totally. And even like the way they just walk into the basement and then just fall and then just all melt. And
Yeah,
they come in. I was
yeah,
like, oh shit,
Jesus.
yeah, like
yeah,
this
even
is no.
even the Mind Flayer, like when it's not a fucking like shadow demon, like looks really
Yeah, they're
creepy and good.
all of them are super demon. Like even like the Demogorgon and everything. They definitely all have that same type of aesthetic. But like this was just like. It was made of all these bones and muscle and
like,
just
sinew,
goo.
and
Yeah,
just,
like
fucking gore. Man.
I'm trying.
Fucking gore.
It reminds me of some game. I feel it's like a Resident Evil almost type monster in a way. But yeah, it's interesting.
Swizzy Mac in chat. My favorite thing about the season was how they weren't all together and they were all separate storylines to a lot of the main characters. It was a different way of approaching rather than having them all together like other seasons.
I totally agree.
I agree.
And
yeah.
and it's funny because that can go really wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like by the end of the season, like they all very cohesively come into the same story point in a way that makes sense. Whereas like you can fuck that up and like it's like, well, wait, how did they get here and why did they even come here? Why did it all makes?
So did you think Susie was fake?
Susie?
Yeah.
Oh
Or
no,
not
I didn't
Susie.
think she was.
Oh yeah,
from the
Susie.
beginning.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't think so. I
was like, where's this going?
I was like, because why would he make? I feel like Dustin wouldn't just make that up. At least that's the way they presented his character. but I don't know. I was happy. I wasn't surprised. But I don't know. I guess I didn't even really truly think about it.
Because they all think he's bullshit. Like,
yeah.
He's like, who the fuck is
like, you fuckers, I know. I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, he builds the hammer.
Where do you work? Scoops Ahoy!
There was a meme I saw. It was the one where like the person talking and then they're in the corner and he's like, Scoops Ahoy! It's so good. Oh my god.
I love how they're both in those sailor outfits the fucking whole time.
Yeah.
Steve's wardrobe not only was his hair, was his fucking sailor outfit.
It is hilarious.
It's like
so
absolutely hilarious. Like you don't notice it. Like
you don't think about it really.
Goes on,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
He's still in a fucking sailor outfit and like seems to not give a fuck.
Well, it's like
neither of them seem to care. Yeah. I really liked Robin.
Robin was an awesome addition.
Dug Robin. And I was kind of like hoping, I was like, oh, Steve, she's cute, man. Yeah. She's a little nerdy, but like, and Dustin's like, yo, get over yourself, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
Like,
it is,
like you're not in high school anymore. Like, it's not all about like cool and like being nerdy.
It's a weird thing to parallel to bring up, but Steve's journey in a way almost reminds me of Jamie in Game of Thrones, where like I did not like him at all.
Dude, no, you're supposed to hate Steve in season 1, and I hated Steve.
And you hate,
in season 2, you're just like, Steve is the man.
Yeah, no, he's coming around. I like him, and then by the end of by the beginning of even 3, you're like, oh, this guy's alright. But even still, he has that character growth.
I was down with Steve in season 2.
No, exactly. But even more so, I think in this season they build it up even more. But they even have another genesis of like, it's like, Steve, you don't need to be cool all the time. We're out of high school. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And he does have that like character building.
I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. Like everyone progresses in some way, shape.
For sure, I do think Will is probably has the least progression.
Besides
but even
him,
still,
like they move at the end. Besides like them moving, I think there's like not a ton of progression.
And even like,
I mean, maybe like a progression of like he's just not controlled by the Mind Flayer anymore.
And I guess he realizes everyone's
growing up.
That's
all we've seen him do the last 2 seasons is be controlled by this fucking thing,
or just be trapped somewhere. Yeah, like he was,
or dead.
Yeah, that was a stuffed body.
Yeah, I was like, remember when he died in season 1?
Dude, so I must have watched all of season 2 at Supers or something, because I pressed play, and I'm like in the middle of like season 1 episode 8, and I'm like, this is really jumping in. Elle looks really young. What the fuck? After 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, I'm on the episode 1 of season whatever. Yeah, but this show. Overall, great time. Do we want to get to the ending now?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to hit. Like a lot of stuff goes on, and it's all like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really ever a down point for me in the show.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Like you know, we have like the sexual tensions between Hopper and Joyce is happening. I like the scenes with like the mayor when he interrogates him. And like absolutely fucks his day up.
It's so good because like
once he realizes it's the upside down and the underground.
He's
and,
not fucking around.
And from the lab, he like this like instant like switch.
And even I loved when I love when he figured out, like, he's like, wait, he was riding a bike, and then he went back there, and he's like, really? Why were you meeting with a fucking plumber? And then when he starts going back, and he's like, all right, Jim, you want to play that game? All right, well, what about if I tell him about the fucking times you've been drinking on the job? Yeah, whatever. Then he goes up the thing, and the way he just gets up and just slams his head at the door, he's like, your guy almost fucking killed me last night, so you're going to tell me everything you fucking know.
Yeah.
And he is my spirit
animal. And it's funny,
like
like he's working with, like, the commies and stuff. It's like, very interesting.
And he doesn't even, he's just a dumb mayor who's like,
I kind of like the Russian plot more than I do, like, the Upside Down plot.
No, I think so. It adds another layer to it in a fun, like, 80s way, especially. Just like it's cool. It's a lot of fun.
And then we see the dude, I forget his name.
Not Alexei, right?
No, we got to talk about Alexei.
You mean the Terminator?
No.
The guy who looked like that fucking guy had to be a reference to the Terminator.
Yeah,
the way he was dressed and the way he looks and everything, like
no. The crazy dude lives in like the bunker.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name, but that actor's awesome.
Very good.
He's so good.
I'm surprised they brought him back, and they brought him back really well. But Alexei, man, with that fucking Slurpee,
dude, it's amazing. Even like I did love that whole scene when Jim's calling his bluff on leaving, because it convinced me. I was like, oh, Jim, you fucking idiot, why'd you let him go? But then when they walk outside and he's just sitting there,
backs it up.
Yeah.
I really like as little as kind of we had of Alexei. Like you really like. I mean, like you never don't like him, but like he's obviously like a Russian. But like, he's more of a pawn.
It's more of a guy. He's being used because you even
and he's
see
doing his job. I guess
You see in the first episode he's working with another guy who just gets killed because he's like, just one more year and we can do it. And then he tells Alexei, you have 1 year.
Yeah.
But yeah, even that's
when he died, I was like, fuck. He just won.
Oh yeah.
What's that character's name?
Mickey Mouse. Was it a Mickey Mouse?
No. It was like a fucking not Speedy Gonzalez.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember the character's name. Yeah, and he gets shot and corn dogs and then
yeah, and then he's just Alexei. That guy, the conspiracy theory dude's one of. He's like an actor I always see in a movie, and I'm like, man, he's so good, but I never remember his name. You ever see the other guys?
Yeah, he's in that. He's in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Get back here and have sex with my wife. Jesus, he's ran like 30 miles to get here. I love that movie so much, but yeah, those were all great additions. I mean, I guess he just came back, right? He was already in the first season.
No, second season.
Second season. Oh, he was only in the second.
We were talking about Steve and Robin. I wanted Steve and Robin to get together.
Yeah.
And then I like how they had the
they kind of subverted it. Yeah.
And like he's like, yeah, well, like she kind of confesses that she's gay, and I'm like, and Steve's like, oh fuck. Oh shit!
And then she goes, oh, but then I love the way he just kind of moves past it. He's just like, and he makes a joke or whatever.
And friends.
And I actually really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
Them getting a job at like the movie rental place.
Yeah.
At the end, it was funny.
It was a lot of fun. That whole duo was a really great addition.
Yeah.
Especially that's Maya Hawke, right? That's Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter. Yeah.
So that's wow. She does look like Uma Thurman.
Yeah,
that's
she really does.
Oh wow, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, she really does.
That makes total sense. Now were they married? They're not married anymore, right? Or were they married at some point? Interesting.
Her last name's Hawke.
Yeah, I guess. Well, but even if they weren't married, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Interesting stuff.
Uma Thurman's like both of them kind of like aren't super relevant.
No, they are. I mean, Ethan Hawke's just in a random movie from time to time, but very true. Anything on there? Are we getting anything?
More so stuff about the end.
Gotcha.
I'll get to the chat in a bit. The ending. Fucking great.
It was great.
It was really
a lot of fun.
Like the operation of them sneaking in and like everyone kind of coming together and the one group battling the Mind Flayer in the mall and battling Billy, and then the other group kind of sneaking down to destroy the
portal
laser,
gun or whatever.
The key.
The key,
as Alexi's calling them, and he helps them out, and they're essentially the only reason they got there is because of Alexi's help, and I just think it all comes
and even like they
end.
only know how to get through the vents because of Dustin and all that. Like everything kind of comes together in a very cool way.
Yeah, and then Dustin with the code or whatever, the number.
Yeah.
And Susie.
What's it something? Oh, I can't remember. It's a certain number or whatever. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, no. It was cool and it was awesome. I really just liked seeing them just sneaking into the facility. Like they're going through the whole. They're going down the elevator and he's like, Jim, this is the plan, all that. And then they open up the door and it's the guys. And then Jim just lights them all up. And he's like, I'm fucking improvising. Let's go. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. And I liked how they took Elle's powers out of the equation.
Yeah.
I thought that
we
was
haven't really talked about Elle and Mike at all, actually.
No, we really haven't. So, basically...
Very tropey with them breaking up, and same with, like, Lucas. Like,
again, those were the parts that I didn't love that much. I just didn't care about it as much.
I thought it was good.
But...
It's, second episode.
Sure. Yeah. But she pulls, like, a piece of the Mind Flayer out of her with her powers, and then after that, she's just doesn't have them... Or not... We don't know if she's lost them completely. We assume that they're just gone for a short amount of time, but they completely remove that element from the fight, and I liked how they just had to actually use just things to fend them off.
When Lucas is talking about the fireworks in this store, I was like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Why?
I was so confused. I was like,
because he was saying
she's like dying. What are you doing? And I was like, "Oh, he's using them as a weapon."
Yeah, he's saying if Elle.
I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Why are you so distracted right now?"
Well, he's like, "Dude, we gotta fucking take." And I thought that was an interesting
it made sense once I realized.
Yeah, he's like, "No, if you put 4 of these together, it might as well be a stick of dynamite." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, it might be." But I thought that was a really different way of approaching that final boss, whatever, battle with him. And I mean, basically, they were just staving off the Mind Flayer.
And I really like the way Billy goes out.
I do too. Like, he breaks the...
Elle kind of have that connection and finding out Billy's past and confirming it with Max. Was a good moment, especially for Billy.
It allowed him to almost break free of...
and developing his character a little bit, because in season 2 he's kind of our
he's just kind of a jerk.
He's our human antagonist of just being a douchebag.
Yeah, literally.
And in this season he's more of like the main, and he's not the he's not the Mind Flayer, but like we're seeing the Mind Flayer through him.
He was what Will was almost in the last one, but a little bit even more sinister,
evil,
because he's actually kidnapping people and basically feeding them to the Mind Flayer, creating a body. And I like the way he's talking, like they're talking.
Yeah,
about,
that's exactly what he does.
He
creates a body.
They're like, he's not building a machine. He's building a machine, but it's an organic machine basically to take us down. It's interesting. I don't know. Billy was definitely used in a cool way, and I felt like you could. His acting just through like how he was just all disheveled, and when Mrs. Wheeler's talking to him, and like when he bashes her head in and it turns out to be like a fake dream, I was like, oh shit, I thought he killed her.
I was like, fuck,
yeah,
Mrs.
like
Wheeler.
Mrs. Wheeler's dead. Holy shit. No, not Mrs. Wheeler.
Fuck Mrs. Wheeler.
But it was good. Very good acting by that guy, Darkray.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. Red Ranger.
Yeah. Not anymore though, apparently. Apparently they're doing a whole new cast, which is stupid.
Which is weird.
I really like that fucking movie. But that's another podcast.
Even replacing Bryan Cranston.
Well, dude, like there was a bunch of big names in that. Even like what's her name? The chick who played what's her name in Aladdin? Jasmine is in that. She's the Pink Ranger. But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So when they destroy the portal, the key, Hopper
was on the other side.
Looks like he dies, man.
He
fucking throws Big Russian into the gun, fucking eviscerates him. I was waiting for that. I was like, he's gonna throw him into that gun.
He should have been knocked out as soon as he hit it once with his head. When he put his head into the propeller, he hits it, and he's sitting there like, and then Hopper's like, fuck no, the Russian dude. And then after that is when he throws him into it. Yeah. Fucking Hopper. I knew it was coming. Since, like, just the way that they were talking. I
don't know if he's dead, dude.
I don't know either, because they didn't show him die.
They didn't, dude. So when the gun, like, blows up, like, he's not there.
Well, no.
I looked, I was like,
well, they're not.
Hopper's gone.
Well, they don't show the area at where he's at while the thing's exploding.
Yes, they do.
I didn't see that.
It blows up, and, like, where his platform was, I was like, it's essentially Joyce's POV.
Because I was looking out
and, like, he's not there.
But that was after the explosion.
No, it's during.
I'd have to rewatch it, because I remember I was specifically watching, because they don't show his position while it's exploding.
Yes, they do.
I'll have to look at it.
They fucking do, I'm telling you.
Because I remember they showed, like, the bottom side of the thing, and just didn't show his side.
They show the bottom, and then they show his side. It's the scene after it, I'm telling you.
I'll look it up.
They don't show...
Because I was looking out specifically to see if you could see
And then
him.
we get the end credit scene where, I guess they're in Russia feeding people to demon dogs for some reason.
Was there an after credit scene?
You didn't see that?
No.
You ended it right as the credits started rolling.
Yeah. I don't know. There's not usually after credit scenes on a fucking show.
I usually just leave it go.
No, I just exit out of it. Like,
oh my god! Because there's a scene in Russia, and they're in like a gulag. It looks like, and one of the Russian prisons walk by, and he goes, "Not the American. Get someone else." And they pull out a Russian dude, and they feed him to a demodog. But the guard literally points out the fact that like there's an American being held in this gulag.
So maybe he got teleported there for some reason.
Hopper.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know how it would be, but like that would explain if him like not being dead or something.
Yeah. I'm very curious as to how they're gonna get out of that without just putting him in the underground.
Yeah, fucking go pull that up when you get home.
No, I will, because I was like sitting there looking.
I was
to see
about
if
to
you
shut
could
it off
see
too,
area.
and I was like, oh wow, there's something at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I just the credits started rolling for a second. I probably just exited out. Yeah, overall, I think they did a fucking fantastic job. I really think they nailed just the tension aspect, the new enemy, because obviously they bring back the Mind Flayer, but I really love the addition of the Russians and that whole storylines.
Yeah,
just cool.
So about the next season, like we get teed up really well with it being a direct sequel, but I hope they don't. I hope they wait and like do a time jump and like age the kids up a little bit. I just think it'd be weird, like if they did a direct sequel based on.
Hi, I'm 12.
Not with the story. The story makes sense.
Sure.
You know, the end is Will, the buyers move away, but it seems like they're still gonna stay in touch. Nancy and Jonathan.
They're gonna be within driving distance.
Are still going out.
Yeah. Man, those long distance relationships.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it lasts. But and they have plans to do holidays together, and Elle's going with, or I guess Mrs. Byers or Joyce is adopting Elle.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Because Hopper's dead.
Yeah.
Quote unquote dead.
And
Mike is still going out with Elle, and Nancy and Jonathan, and then Will being friends with all of them. So it looks like they're going to try to stay connected. We don't know where they're moving to, but...
You assume it's within driving distance, but
who
knows how long of a distance that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, again, season is awesome. I fucking love it.
It definitely, and one thing I gotta give him props for is just the 8-episode length. God, I love a nice, concise show. Nothing more, like, especially with the Marvel Netflix shows. I know Jessica Jones this last season has apparently been really good. Don't give me
according to me.
Don't give me like 13 episodes. Like, I don't need that. Give me a good, concise story with little to no padding. And good job, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
On that front, for sure.
Yeah, fucking great.
Yeah.
There's one thing I wanted to talk about, I think. Well, anything else we want to address? Well, I mean, we're kind of at the end here. But,
No, I mean, I think that basically covered it. I really think that they just did an overall much better job this season of keeping me intrigued. I wonder how many episodes season 2 did have. Was it only 8 too?
It's probably only 8.
Interesting.
I know the first season is definitely just 6.
Because I just remember the first one just didn't stick out to me, really. Or, I mean, the second season it doesn't stick out.
Yeah,
in my
well,
mind.
I mean,
can't
dude,
even,
that
like,
episode 7 is fucking horrible.
You can just
when
you
she
can
goes
literally
to
completely
Detroit,
skip it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
like it is a horrible episode.
See, it's funny. I thought they were going to bring those kids in again at some point.
I'm
like,
so happy they did.
well, just like that's what I thought they were going to use her.
That
then to fight
episode
the,
is just
to
like
fight the mind flyer.
it was so thematically like
Just
like,
off.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like a weird shot to the yard. You're like, where are we why are we here? It's interesting and odd. I don't understand.
Yeah, man.
But
I love the 80s. I love the show, but let's let it breathe a little. I don't think we need to rush a 4th season out.
I agree.
As these kids are aging, like, I don't know. Like, do an It thing, do a time jump where they're older. They don't have to be that much older, but, like, enough.
Yeah.
And, more Steve. More Steve's hair. That's all I need.
More Steve's hair. Less Billy's mustache.
He's dead.
Good. Then none.
Oh, wait. Billy's death scene. That's what I want to talk about. I like the way they take him out. Like,
I
you
do
know,
too.
he has
Like,
a
he kinda stands
redemption
up.
moment where he catches the mind flayer's like tentacle and he's like holding it off and eventually gets fucked.
Oh, the way it's like going around.
Yeah, and like
Very.
shoo,
And
like
just goes on.
yeah, and then like the last tentacle like through his fucking like sternum and it's like Jesus
Literally
Christ.
just punctures him, and then he kind of has that moment with Maxine where he's like, "I'm sorry." Yeah, it sucks because you do see that conflict within him at least at the beginning, but by the end of the season, it's kind of just all mind flayer until that moment arrives and Elle kind of breaks through. Good stuff by him. Great acting.
Yeah.
Definitely. Is there anything else? Anything else on late chat?
Swizzy Mac was really surprised that you didn't see the scene at the end, and it was huge, and I'm very surprised. You didn't do it.
I don't know. Like, was it right after the?
It's like
credit?
it's like
I
2 or 3 like panels go, and then it jumps into it.
I must have been just going to bed, and I was like, "That was great," and just turned it off.
I'm gonna sleep.
I'm going to bed. That's weird. Yeah.
Also,
I'll
I
have to look it up when I
love
get
the
back.
use of Peter Gabriel's hero at the end. Yeah.
That was good.
They don't use. Do they use a lot of 80s songs?
They do. There's one.
Some.
There's some REO Speedwagon when you first see Mike and so I'm gonna keep on loving you. Like
And
right
obviously
when
the Neverending Story song.
Yeah.
But like season 1 is full of like songs.
Sure.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. God, soundtrack of the '80s. Soundtrack. Of
Also, like just going back to it because I thought about the revelation with Steve and like him liking Nancy and him like realizing that he was kind of like a dick. I fucking love it.
That was good. It was a very great development.
Like again,
for
like
him.
every character for the most part, like even like Elle is sort of sidelined this season in a way. Like it's not about the season. Really isn't about her.
Yeah.
Like like the first 2 seasons kind of are.
Sure.
They kind of like sideline her in a respectful way.
It's
They
somewhat
still
about
use
her, but it's also not. Yeah, because like
She's
it's
still-
weird. The mind flayer is
She has
going
powers,
after.
you know.
Yeah, and the mind flayer is technically going after her, but like it's almost more about the people stopping the key from being used rather than actually Elle defeating the mind flayer.
Yeah.
There's some really good. I like the scenes where she just kind of full on goes apeshit with her powers a lot. Like especially that scene with
Yeah.
Billy when they're in the
Oh
fucking
yeah.
in the
yeah.
sauna and everything. It's good.
Yeah, when she has those like rage moments.
Yeah,
it's
and
good.
just throws him, and even she like rips the mind flayer's head in half. Good stuff, great stuff.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
that's it.
Awesome, great. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've been watching live on twitch.tv/Delco Network, we very much appreciate it. You can find this podcast on everything, on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Leave us some reviews. Good, the bad, tell us the all. Tell us the all, Gooch. Do it. We needed everything. We need everything. We want everything. We love you guys for watching. You can find us on YouTube, on our Facebook and Twitter page, as well as Instagram. We're at Delco Nerds on Twitter and Instagram. You can find all this information on our website. www.delco.network. Next time I'm going to pull the outro up so I actually remember it all correctly. But thank you all so much for watching. For Gooch, I've been Trio. Stay nerdy, guys. We will see you next time.